Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Just a quick middle of the day update. Bear in mind, today we have the Fed interest rate decision, FOMC meeting and press conference. So we could see a little bit of, or maybe even quite substantial volatility later today. At the moment, on its, on the way to the FOMC meeting on Fed day, the market is rather quiet. We don't see too much price action. Well, that could change later. So please be aware there could be some additional volatility that comes in, and that might lead, for example, to some distortions here in the wave patterns, could lead the waves to go to their extremes, might even mean that we form another lower low here before really bottoming in wave A or wave 4. So yeah, let's talk about the pattern as well. But just wanted to make sure that everybody's on the same page with regards to expect some volatility later today. We're obviously looking here in this video at the 1 hour chart, and these patterns, they are already quite fragile. And if we see volatility events, or if there is a volatility event like the one that's obviously anticipated later today, typically there is a bit of volatility around Fed day. Well, then there could be some additional, there could be some wave patterns that move into their extremes. As I said, maybe even some micro invalidations, but typically it doesn't change the overall trend. Okay, so unless something really unexpected happens, I don't expect major movements. But yeah, short-term volatility, fluctuations, and sometimes on a day like that, these scenarios that we're discussing, they could be completed within minutes. So, I mean, what could be is that we get a rapid B wave, come down and whatever, Just wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page there. Overall, pattern-wise, structurally, not too much happened today. We've obviously talked about this in the previous video already. In the previous video, I also covered the daily chart. So if you're interested in a little bit more context, feel free to check out my previous video. For now, I just want to share with you if any changes here on the 1 hour chart, and then later today I'll make another video probably after the Fed interest rate decision, and yeah, cover any changes, because there might be some adjustments here, smallest adjustments after the volatility. So overall, the pattern is still suggesting that we could get a bounce from this region. Well, actually, we've had a bounce, and we wanted to see a bounce from this 100% extension level here at 61,280. The price obviously reached it, touched it. I wanted to see one more low that happened, and then ideally a bounce. Okay, in the previous video I shared with you, we also had bullish divergences. Everything good. We saw a little bit of upside, fine. Break above the trend line, but not yet a break above the last swing high. I really need to see a break above the 65,750 level. Whoops. Which is, 750, 760, which is the last swing high. That really needs to be taken out. And then we can see if the price is actually in this B wave at least. So what we're watching for is any evidence that a larger low has formed. That could be all of wave 4. I have to say it doesn't really look like it at the moment, because if all of wave 4 bottomed, we'd like to see a more screaming rally. Okay, maybe there'll be a catalyst later. So I just want to share with you, the price did already what it needed to do in this wave 4 correction after wave 3 topped last week. Wave 4 did what it needed to do. We have 3 waves down. The C wave reached an ideal target. We reached the orange support region. And if we now see a clear impulse to the upside, I would assume wave 4 has bottomed. Until then, however, I assume that, yep, a low could form, but I would assume it's only going to be a larger ABC structure. However, even then, the B wave could be quite substantial. That's typically what happens in a wave 4. So it's either wave 4 is bottoming in this region, or the wave 4 is forming a larger ABC pattern. Both possible. If it's forming a larger ABC pattern, then it's possible that the 4th wave eventually reaches the 55K level, which is the ideal target normally for a 4th wave. But in a bullish market, pullbacks can be shallow. Overall, we normally say that we have to consider the entire support range, and it starts at 61.8K. So that means, first of all eyes need to be obviously on the last swing low. I really wanted to hold today's low. That's at 60,720. We want to avoid a break below that level to maintain the idea that, yep, we could be in the B wave or already in the 5th wave. But as I said, I prefer the view that we are only in the B wave. and we'll test the support region again. But as I said, next level to cross and to break is that 65,750 level here. And overall, yeah, you can never rule out on a day like that due to the short-term volatility, Fed day, we could see maybe a bit of, taking the stops out and then running pattern. So it's like taking the stops out that were set below this swing low, because that's quite obvious, okay? And then just maybe touch here the 1.236 extension, which is also an acceptable target for the C wave, and then run, yeah. And then, but at the moment there isn't enough upside momentum for me to say something has changed. Okay, we've broken above an initial trend line, but it only had 2 touch points really, so it's not the most meaningful one. And we haven't formed a pattern yet of higher highs and higher lows, not even on the smaller time frame. So that's what I would want to see next. So eventually not much more to update, really nothing too interesting yet, but I think we could see a bit more volatility later today. Just prepare for it, also mentally, which is very important. So yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.